Hello all, this is Dr. Dheeraj Masapu. I'm a senior consultant in the field of neuroanesthesiology. And today I'm going to tell you 7 hardest specialties in training as well as to practice. Okay, so these 7 specialties people should enter only if you're passionate in these subjects. Otherwise, if you're thinking about work-life balance, if you're thinking about less stressful life, better don't enter these specialties. Okay, I'm going to start each specialty and I'm going to tell you in reverse order from 7 to 1 I'll be going, and in each specialty I will tell you why actually it is hard. Okay, let us start with the number 7 now. 7 is neonatology. So neonatology by default it is tough because the training also is tough. You have to go through 3 years of MD pediatrics, which is going to be tough, and 3 years of DM in neonatology, and you have to get seat and then do 3 years of training. That is going to be tough, and after that the intensity will be very high. So what happens is in NICU, a lot of children will be there. So one side you have to actually manage the criticality of the disease, and other side you have to manage parents. So what happens is this keeps you in a kind of a high stress environment all the time. And I've seen some of the neonatology heads who are my friends who actually take 24-hour calls actually, and then they're like very stressed out. So here, even if you chose to have a relaxed life, I don't think you'll get. So that is the agenda behind this particular video. And the second reason is that why I'm doing this video is that I don't want wrong people in wrong specialties. That is what is a problem now. What happens is if you want to chill, you chill. Okay, don't take up these specialties is what I'm trying to tell you. If you're coming into these specialties, come with the right mindset. Okay, if you're ready to work hard and if you're ambitious, and then you enter these specialties, which I'm going to tell now. So number 7 is done, and I told you why it is going to be tough. Let's go to 6. Anesthesia, emergency and critical care are going to be tough. So see, I preach in my videos that there's shift based work, and after that you'll have an off time, and all that is true, but during that time of 8 to 10 hours of your work time, it is going to be intense. Why I call it stress is because of the crisis. So in anesthesia, emergency and critical care, they might look free for you when you see for certain moments of time, but there are certain minutes in their 8 to 10 hour shift which is going to be extremely stressful due to crisis. So for example, emergency physician might actually receive a patient from an ambulance who is already in a near cardiac arrest. So there are like 10 to 15 minutes. He should actually be, do his A game there and get the patient out. After that, he'll be like, Hama. So that is the kind of stress they will undergo. So I keep, these 3 specialties as emergency, and they are surely in number 6 position. If you enter these specialties, then once your shift is over, you might relax, but during the shift period, you are going to undergo certain amount of stress. Okay, and it's going to be hard. So number 5 we'll see is OBG. So OBG, why I call OBG stressful less? The reason is I've seen many of my friends who are like leading OBG teams. What is it? 24 hours they will be actually in the game all the time. There is no off time there, I feel, for them. So what happens is they admit a patient, and then labor will initiate, and then they have to shift for cesarean section or painless labor they start initially. So even if 2-3 patients are there with you, it will look like round the clock you're working. If you have 8 to 10 patients under you, then you're finished. So you have to be prepared in your mind before taking up OBG, and this is how your life will be. And luckily most of the gynecologists actually adapt to this very quick, and then actually they manage the show. If you're not able to do this kind of a 24-hour business, like you're like on all the time, okay, and that is the reason OBG I kept as one of the hardest specialties. And number 5, let's see number 4. Number 4 is oncology. So medical and surgical, I call them hardest specialties. One is training. You're getting MD stuff. After that, getting DM in oncology is like damn tough, and then you start your practice in MCH oncosurgery is also very tough. So after that, you start your practice, and then there is a long waiting period, 7 to 8 years. You have to, if you're a surgeon, 7 to 8 years of time you require to get an expertise where patients start coming to you. For DM medical oncology, immediately you can start practicing. There is a lot of demand for this, and but the thing is that it is going to be stressful because of the outcomes. So here, emotionally, it will be taxing because most of the people who come to you will have a 3-year survival, 5-year survival. Leukemias have a good prognosis in children. So pediatric hemonc, if you are practicing, you have a very good prognosis. But in adult oncology, the prognosis is not really good. But now for breast and all, almost they're 90 to 100% recovery is what they're giving. And with advanced therapies like proton therapy and linear accelerator therapies and all the advanced radiation therapies coming, because advancement of radiation oncology, the outcomes have changed, but still they lose many patients and emotionally it will be taxing. So because of that, there will be some element of stress on the person who's doing it. That is why I kept it in number 4 in the hardest specialty. Okay, let's see what's number 3. Number 3 is cardiology, cardiac and thoracic surgery. So who my friends who are in this particular genre are actually on the toes all the time. They don't know when MI will come, when the primary will come, when they take the patient for cath lab. If a cardiac surgeon, when they start, they finish the case and then they follow how much is the drain every year, 100 ml, 50 ml. Like all the time they're worried about post-op drain and what is the situation. Pre they counsel, intraoperative they counsel, post-operative they counsel, and they keep track of the next day patients. And then again, they will be monitoring today's patient. So it's going to be extremely hard, and it is a round the clock business even for them. It is going to be hard if you want to come into cardiac surgery. Okay, what is number 2? Number 2 is transplant. Transplant surgeon, if you become, then obviously it's going to be hard. So there are many transplant centers where actually they don't know when they're going to start surgery. It depends on the organ donation. For example, there is some kind of a brain death happened in some organization. Then suddenly the organs will go to certain centers, right? So for example, if they come at 12 midnight, I've seen transplant centers starting with surgery at 1 o'clock. So you sleep nicely and then 1 o'clock you have to get up and go for surgery. So that is like your life is not in your control, right? There is no work-life balance there. So that is the kind of life transplant surgeons and transplant anesthetists will be having. So before taking up specialty, you need to understand what kind of life you're going to have. So if you want a fixed time to time, then these kind of specialties you shouldn't enter. Okay. And if you're ready to play the game, you want to play the A game all the time, you want to be known in your hospital, if you want to earn big bucks, then you have to enter transplant surgery. And it is a very specialized field, and there is a lot of demand in the future because a lot of organ donation is increasing. Because when I recently took my license, there is an option. Do you want to donate your organs after I die? Not now. So basically, what happens is a lot of organ donations will increase in future, and there is a need of good people. Okay. See, just doing transplant surgery is different. If you have 7 to 10 years of experience, you will have a lot of demand. Let's see, number 1 topping is neurosurgery. So neurosurgery is by default, you ask anyone, it is the hardest specialty. The reason being the complexity of the surgery. Why I placed this in the hardest specialty is the complexity, because brain is such an organ where even a millimeter this side and that side, I've seen many patients losing their parts of the functions of different parts in your body, and also I've seen many patients losing their lives. So the neurosurgeon will be an extremely stressful situation when he's operating. And even with experience, I see they become more careful, more stressed, and then to give the result to the patient because of the complexity and it becomes the hardest specialty to do. That's one reason. The second reason is round the clock. After you operate, you have to follow up your patient, just like cardiac transplant and OBG. And then the next thing is, even after doing a perfect surgery with neuro monitoring and all that, we have to wait for some time to see the results. If it's a brain tumor, again, that patient will go for radiation, and then we don't know. It depends on the grade of the glioma. Sometimes if it is high grade, even after doing the best surgery, the survival might be lesser. If it's a low grade, the outcomes are good. So it is more like very tough. And the second thing is the trauma. So they will finish the regular cases and they'll go home, and suddenly night when acute SDH will come, a head injury will come, or EDH will come. Again, they have to come in the night and then operate. You might say that in bigger teams there will be different people. Seniors will operate in the morning and juniors will come in the night. But the thing is, like, even if patient is coming in the night, they will get admitted under a senior. So senior will have the responsibility even in the night to know what case is happening. If required, they will come in the night, operate, and again they'll come in the next day, they'll operate again that day. So that kind of personality and grit, if you have, only then you come into neurosurgery. Otherwise, just because you got a 6-year course in DNB, don't join neurosurgery. It is not so easy. I see them every day. I see the kind of a passion. Only if you have passion towards neurosurgery, you should enter. It's not for the money you have to come. See, all these 7 specialties, if you're entering only with the passion, if you love, you enter. Otherwise, if you don't have passion, you cannot survive in these specialties. Because there was a saying by Steve Jobs. What he told is that the very reason passionate people continue is because when you start these kind of projects, these 7 specialties are like projects, there will be a lot of obstacles. Normal people cannot cross them. Only insane man can cross. Insane man is the one with passion. So only if you have passion, you have to enter, not for the money. Money will come in all these specialties as a byproduct. I've seen, all the neurosurgeon, transplant, and all the cardiac surgeons driving the biggest of the biggest cars, but they were never focused about the cars. They always talk about the surgeries. They always talk about next year's planning, what new gadgets are coming, research, etc., etc. So if you have such kind of a mindset, I think you should enter these hard specialties. Hope you understood what my intention is. Okay, thank you.